Hello everyone, I'm Greg Weaver. Welcome to The Audio Analyst. Last week, I took some extra time to familiarize you with the absolutely amazing venue that hosted the inaugural Southwest Audiofest before sharing one of the top 5 performing rooms there. If you missed that and have any interest in learning about the remarkable Hilton Anatole, please find that information in the opening of episode 167. Today, we are going to visit room 1422, hosted by Genesis Advanced Technologies, manufactured in Woodinville, Washington, a room where I got to spend some time with my friend and Genesis head honcho, Gary Coe. At this event, he was introducing his latest Series 7 loudspeaker, the Foxtrot. A big part of the remarkably successful sound here was the contribution of the spectacular voice of this new loudspeaker. But don't let its fairly typical looks fool you. The Foxtrot uses several progressive approaches to accomplish its amazing level of performance. It starts by using 2 of the singular Genesis 1-inch ring radiator ribbon tweeters, one on the front baffle delivering high-frequency information, as you would expect, and a second in a dipolar configuration mounted on the rear baffle to offer a little more room-friendliness. The 5.5-inch mid-range uses a titanium diaphragm, and it employs an incredibly effective pair of 8-inch woofers in an Isobaric alignment. While Gary will touch on the Isobaric loading alignment in his upcoming conversation, though first introduced by Harry F. Olson in the early 1950s, the alignment became quite popular in the 1970s and on into the 80s, especially after it was championed by Lynn of Glasgow, UK, and popularized with the original Lynn DMS loudspeaker. Finally, it is of further interest to learn that the Series 7 Foxtrot's enclosure is fabricated from sustainable bamboo, and that Gary uses all water-based finishes and adhesives to complete its assembly. The New Jersey-based VPI Industries Avenger Direct turntable, fitted with the Wand of Origin tone arm from New Zealand, used Gary's newly refined Genesis Hypersonic X4 moving coil cartridge, feeding his Genesis Premium Gold phono stage. Also featured was the new analog audio design TP1000 reel-to-reel quarter-inch tape deck from France, with a smart sensing remote control, which is built with the latest up-to-date parts, technology, and components. Gary was also introducing the Heed Helicon preamp and mono amplifiers from Budapest, Hungary. Now, search as I might, there was not much detail available on these devices, but I did learn that they will at first be limited to a special 30th anniversary production series of 30 units and will be only sold as matched sets. All of this gear was supported on the lateral Cadenz 4T standard racks. All cabling was from the Genesis Absolute Fidelity interface lineup, and AC was treated by a Puritan PSM 156 AC purifier power conditioner. And you may see all pricing details in today's description section. But let's have Gary walk us through the system and treat us to some very special tape playback.
Good morning, Greg. Thank you for coming back to interview me. The last time we spoke, I had my big systems in the back. And that was the largest Genesis loudspeaker. That was the Genesis Prime, our flagship. And since then, one of the things that I've always wanted to do is to really bring that quality of music down to a affordable level for normal people. I've got a friend I go to concerts with, and when I told her that my cheapest loudspeaker was $45,000, she went, "What? Who would buy something like that?" So I was determined to make something that would have the Genesis sound And the quality of music and the quality of sound that I crave and music lovers crave that the normal person could afford. Hence, we started the Genesis 7 series that was, I started design about 4 years ago. So I kept myself occupied through the pandemic lockdowns. And this is the largest of the 3 models that I've developed. This is called the Genesis Foxtrot. Looks like a simple box, it looks very normal, but there's a lot of technology that had to go inside to be able to do things I want the speaker to do. I wanted to be able to develop the deep bass to play a double bass properly because I love jazz. So you see only one 8-inch woofer, but behind that 8-inch woofer is another 8-inch woofer working in tandem. And that's called an Isobaric loading. Isobaric was popular in the 80s and in the 90s. I still remember the Lin Isobaric loudspeaker. Audiophiles used to love the loudspeaker in the 80s. And I haven't seen it used recently, but in order to be able to extract the bass I needed, that's what's in there, so it's hidden behind. It's got a rear firing tweeter like all Genesis speakers, so the dipole, the way it works, dipole like that, allows the speaker to fit into normal living rooms much easier. And it's got, to be able to get the clarity and the detail and resolution I wanted in the mid-range, it's got a 5.5-inch titanium cone, a solid titanium cone. When I first asked the loudspeaker manufacturers, I wanted a 5.5-inch titanium cone. They looked at me and said, no, 1-inch titanium tweeter. I said, no, 5.5-inch titanium cone. It took them a couple of years, but they managed to do that for me. And it's also got the famous Genesis ribbon tweeter on it. So it delivers the clarity and everything. But beyond just for audiophiles, I wanted the speaker to go into ordinary rooms. So one of the things I did with this that's unique is that it's made of all water-based finishes and water-based glues. So there's no off-gassing, there's no formaldehyde. If you're a young family and you want to place it in your nursery to deliver music for your babies, this will not off-gas. The cabinet structure is made of bamboo. It's a bamboo ply, extremely stiff, extremely low resonance, but it's also green, sustainable, and it's good for the planet. Okay, so that's about my loudspeaker. The other thing I've got new here, which we've developed over the last few years, is the smallest part of this system, a cartridge. The cartridge is a Hypersonic X4. And it just delivers everything that I've always wanted in the cartridge. The previous cartridge I have loved was the Transfiguration Proteus D. And unfortunately, the maker of that passed away, so it's no more. I can't get a replacement of my cartridge. And having no choice, we went and actually developed a cartridge for ourselves that does everything that I've always wanted. Unfortunately, it's extremely low output. It has got extremely low impedance. It's almost a dead shot. So your phono stage has to be able to do it. But it's you'll hear the resolution. The resolution is incredible. The sound staging, image, and all the sound and all the music. It also delivers the emotion of music. And so that's the Hypersonic X4. And I've also got a surprise for you. We've got the Analog Audio Design tape deck with us. The Analog Audio Design tape deck is a brand new from the ground up French manufactured designs. Tape enthusiasts are always looking at an old Studer, a 30-year-old Studer, a 20-year-old Tandberg, modifying it, upgrading it to get to something. This is an all new, every single part is new, every single part was manufactured new and redesigned. The only thing Studer about it is the head. It uses the Studer head, the same head as the 820. But what we've got on this is actually quite amazing. The Charlie King repairs tape machines. So one day, a young man came with a tape machine for Charlie to repair, and there was a tape stuck on it. And after he repaired the machine, he played the tape, And he went, oh my God. He told the owner of the tape machine, you can have the tape machine back, it's fixed, but I'm keeping the tape. And we are going to play it now for you. This is the tape that was found on an old broken Stella Vox.
I love the colorful clothes you wear and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. I'm picking up vibration, she's giving me excitation. I'm picking up vibration, she's giving me excitation. I'm picking up good vibration, she's giving me excitation. I'm picking up good vibration, she's giving me excitation. Close my eyes, she's somehow closer now. Softly smile, I know she must be kind. When I look in her eyes, she goes with me to a blossom world. I'm picking up vibration, she's giving me excitation. I'm picking up good vibration, she's giving me excitation. I'm picking up good vibration, she's giving me excitation. I'm picking up good vibration, she's giving gotta keep those loving good vibrations a happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations a happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations a happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that music. Thank you for listening. That wasn't the Beach Boys, but it was a cover band called Papa Do Run Run. Thank you for your time, and thanks, Greg, for coming.
My sincerest thanks to Gary for making the time before the show opened Sunday morning to allow us to shoot this one. And while Gary mentions the band who performed the cover of the Beach Boys' Good Vibrations in passing at the close of his conversation, let me fill you in on just how that played out. When I stopped in to see him, Gary asked me if I liked the Beach Boys. While I really wasn't sure where he was headed, once I had answered in the affirmative, he started to spool a reel of tape, explaining that the tape had been stuck on a tape deck that had come in for repair to Charlie King, whom Gary refers to as Mr. Stallbox himself. Now, once Charlie had repaired the deck, freed and listened to the tape, he decided to inform the client that the tape wasn't going to be returned. And he had been kind enough to loan it to Gary. With no other provenance on the tape's origin, Gary's independent research led him to a Beach Boy cover band, Papa Do Ron Ron, who had released an entire Beach Boy cover record called California Project on Telarc in 1984. Gary searched out a number of their recordings and simply could not find an exact match for the recordings on this tape, though it is clearly from that group. With that setup, once the tape was finally threaded, he hit play. Wow. I mean, not only was the recording an absolute treasure, but the performances and the production quality were off the hook as well. After the tape, to demonstrate the equally superb LP playback, Gary queued up a 2015 limited edition 45 RPM 12-inch single remaster of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. This was another sonic bombshell, one that was so impressive that I have since sought out and received a mint-minus copy from Discogs. But regardless of source, the resultant playback was exceptionally well done, from its superbly solid, defined, and impactful low end. Isobarics really work. Through its beautifully detailed and tonally accurate, rich mid-range full of bloom and vibrant color, to its particularly ample, spacious, and buoyant uppermost registers. Driven by the synergistic pairing of either this new, excellent analog audio design TP1000 deck or the VPI Wand Genesis combo, using the Heed Helicon line stage and monoblocks, and all cabling from the Genesis Absolute Fidelity Interface Collection, this system delivered the real sonic goods, with vibrant tonality, excellent staging and imaging, and an organic, natural sense of continuity, that often elusive quality of being able to deliver broadband, seamless continuousness. This system had clearly earned its place among my top 5 systems at the inaugural 2024 Southwest Audiofest. As always, thank you for taking the time to drop by today. Further information on supporting the channel may be found in today's description section or at my website, theaudioanalyst.com. Please stay safe and keep the music playing. Till next time, cheers.